Assalamu alaikum. We are studying the minerals, and as we know that there are two types of minerals. These are in fact, the inorganic material of the body. Body is formed of the organic material, and the minerals are the inorganic part of the body, and very important. But today we will discuss the iron. Iron is a micro mineral. You know what's micro mineral? Micro mineral, the daily requirement of micro mineral, which is less than 100 milligram, is the micro mineral, and it is one of the very important micro mineral because our body needs iron for many functions. Very important function is it's a part of the hemoglobin, which is a protein which carries oxygen from our lungs throughout the body. Now in this lecture we will see that what are the other important functions of the iron in the body, and from which diets from we can have the iron, and what could be the consequences if the iron is low in the body, and even what are the consequences if the iron body becomes high. The total content of iron in a diet is approximately 3 to 4 gram, and about 70% of this is in the erythrocytes of blood as a constituent of hemoglobin. Majority of the iron in the body is centralized in the erythrocytes in the shape of hemoglobin. But as we know that 5% of the body iron is present in the myoglobin of muscles, and heme is the most important iron containing substance in the body. As we know that heme is the non-protein part of the hemoglobin. It's a constituent of several proteins, enzymes as the hemoproteins, hemoglobin. It's a MCQ that hemoglobin is a 4 iron atom and myoglobin is 1 iron atom. Then see the cytochromes. Cytochrome. We will study the electron transport chain in the second year. But now you must know that what are the cytochromes. You must be familiar with the ATP, the energy which is energy in our body, and cytochromes are the iron which are used in the electron transport chain. These are the iron used for the transferring of the electrons in the form of ferrous and ferric, reduction and transport. It is in the electron transport chain, the complex 4. There are certain complex in the electron transport chain, and the electrons are transferred. As we took our diet is mainly protein, lipids, fat, and carbohydrates. They are converted to acetyl-CoA, and that is from here there are the coenzymes are secreted. These coenzymes, these are the energy rich compounds, and they will go into the electron transport chain, and here there is the transferring of the electrons, and with these transferring there is a release of the energy, by which there is the transport of the hydrogen ions, and in this way energy is produced. Basically, you must know the cytochrome. These are the iron containing proteins in the electron transport chain, which is used for the production of the energy. At this stage you must know up to this. Then the xanthine oxidase. It is an iron containing enzyme which catalyzes the oxidation of the hypoxanthine to xanthine and then xanthine to uric acid. Then the catalase. Catalase is basically the enzymes which catalyzes the partition of the hydrogen peroxide into the water and simple oxygen. In this way, it protects the body from the reactive oxygen species. Then there are the certain proteins, heme iron, hemoglobin, then the transferrin. It is the protein which carries the iron, then the ferritin and hemosiderin. These are basically the storage form of the iron. Ferritin and hemosiderin both are storage form of iron, but hemosiderin is a degradation of the product of the ferritin, and physiologically we are able to use it by the body. Then what is the recommended dietary allowance? RDA, recommended dietary allowance of iron. It is different for infants, it is different for the ages, for the sexes. For the infants, both ages, up to the half year, it is only 0. These are approximate, not relative, 0.27 milligram per day. Why? Because the mothers, from mother, they get the hemoglobin. And then from half to 1 year, it becomes the 11 milligram per day. It increases. Then 1 to 8 years, it is 7 to 10 milligram per day. And from 9 to 13 years, it is 8 milligram per day. And this is for the both sexes. Up to 13 years, it is for the both sexes, for male and female. But from 14 to 18, there is a difference. For males, it is 11 milligram per day, but females, it is 15 to 18 milligram per day because of the physiological loss in the shape of menstruation. Then from 19 to 70, it again began less and 8 milligram per day. And in female, from 51 to 70, the same as in the male. But in pregnancy, it increases because the child also needs the hemoglobin, so it becomes the 27 milligram per day. And the lactation, there is no such increase, and it is only 9 to 10 milligram per day. Then what are the sources of the iron? The diet from which we can get the iron. The richest source is the organ meat, the katak, liver, heart and kidney. It is the richest source. But on the contrary, good sources are leafy vegetables, pulses, cereals, fish, apples, dried fruit and molasses. But the poor sources, milk, wheat and polished rice. You see, it is our daily diet, and this is the reason there is the iron deficiency anemia, because our daily diet mainly consists of milk, wheat and polished rice. Then question, what are the functions in the body? It can be in other ways. You can call it what are the biomedical importance of the iron. Biomedical importance of the iron. Number first, very important, carrying oxygen from the lungs to the rest of the body. And the other is the maintaining a healthy immune system. It's very important nowadays. Healthy ways to strengthen the immune system. In spite of this, the other things that you must not smoke, eat a diet high in fruits and vegetables, then the regular exercise, not to be over or underweight, no alcohol in the diet, and the adequate sleep. And there should be take steps to avoid infection such as washing of hands frequently. We must do nowadays. Then the iron is constituent of several enzymes, for example catalase, peroxidases, and cytochrome enzyme. Both we have studied. Catalase and peroxidase, these are for the reactive oxygen species, protect the body from the reactive oxygen species. And the cytochrome enzyme, the enzymes which are used in the electron transport chain for the generation of the energy in the form of ATP. Then what are the normal reference ranges? Serum iron, men is 65 to 176 microgram per deciliter, women 50 to 170 microgram per deciliter, newborns 100 to 250 microgram per deciliter, children 50 to 120 microgram per liter. Then the TIBC, total iron binding capacity. Total iron, TIBC, total iron binding capacity, it is 240 to 450 microgram per deciliter. Basically, this is it is for the it is a blood test. TIBC basically is a blood test to see if you have too much or too low iron. It is basically the blood test. And each transferrin test molecule, each transferrin which carry iron containing protein can bind with 2 atoms of ferric iron. And the plasma transferrin concentration is near just away from 200 to 250. It means that it can bind the approximately 400 milligram of iron per deciliter. So the total iron binding capacity should be around 400. Less, it means that if it is a high, it means that there is a iron deficiency anemia. But if it is low, it means that there is a liver disease or hemolytic anemia if transferrin is low. Then the iron absorption. It's very important. Iron is mainly absorbed in the food. Iron is present in the ferric form, bound to proteins or organic acids. Mainly it is present in the diet in the ferric form. But in the acidic medium, such as in the stomach, provided by the gastric hydrochloric acid, the ferric is released from food. It means that acidic material is very much important even for the release of the iron from our diet. We took diet and we neutralizes our gastric ulcer with some antacid. So there will be no release of iron because acidic environment, we raise the pH. Then number 1 is the acidic environment. Number 2 is the reducing substances such as the vitamin C, ascorbic acid, and cysteine convert ferric iron to ferrous form. Because it is present in the ferric form, but it will absorb in the ferrous form. So there must be reducing substance we need for its reduction from ferric to ferrous. And 40 to 80 milligram of vitamin C per day is sufficient or more than adequate to meet the requirement. It means that it is very much important to have vitamin C in our diet for the absorption of iron. And an intake of 25 to 50 milligram per meal enhances iron absorption. Why? Because iron in ferrous form is soluble and readily absorbed. Then heme iron from meat. In the meat, iron is formed in the not in the inorganic form but in the organic form, and it is the heme form in the meat. But it absorbs separately and considered considerably more available than inorganic iron. It is more available in the meat, so it is separately it will be absorbed. However, the absorption of both inorganic and heme iron is impaired by the calcium. It's very important, as the milk contains plenty of calcium, so a glass of milk with a meal significantly reduced iron availability. You have iron in diet, but there is a deficiency of vitamin C, or there is a gastric acid, hydrochloric acid. We neutralizes it with any type of antacid, and with the milk, when you add the calcium, the absorption of the iron will highly impaired. About 5 to 10% of iron taken in the food is absorbed. Not all the iron is, it is for just for to have the balance, equilibrium. 5 to 10% of the iron which is taken in the food is absorbed. But iron deficiency is a common problem. About 10% of the population are genetically at risk of iron overloaded. Although deficiency is very common problem, but sometimes near about 10% of the population are genetically at a risk of iron overloaded, hemochromatosis. And iron is absorbed chiefly in portion of the intestine proximal to the mid-jejunum. As you know, GAT first, the stomach, then the small intestine, the first part of the small intestine, the duodenum, the second part is the jejunum, and the third part is the ileum. But the absorption occurs in the up to mid-jejunum, in the duodenum and mid-jejunum. Most of the absorption of iron occurs in the small intestine proximal to the mid-jejunum. And the acidic contents of the stomach contain iron in solution and reduce them from ferric to ferrous. Ferric is abounded, but when there is a reduction into the ferrous form, that is going to absorb from the brush border absorptive cells. Intestine, at small intestine, there are the absorptive cells and the brush borders of the absorptive cells. At that point, the remaining ferric is reduced to ferrous by a ferric reductase. We will see in detail. First, in the acidic medium, there is a reduction of ferric to ferrous, because in the ferrous form it will be absorbed by the body. But again, at the brush border of the absorbed cells, the remaining ferric is reduced to ferrous by the ferric reductase. It enters the intestinal mucosal cell by an energy-dependent transport mechanism. It's not a passive transport. Energy should be used, and for energy, it means there must be some transporter that can carry the iron. And which are these transporters? These are the DMT1, called the divalent metal transporter 1. Divalent metal transporter 1, DMT1. Ferrous is transported into the absorber cells by the divalent metal absorber transporter 1, DMT1. And DMT1 belongs to a family of general cation transporters. The other name of DMT1 is the natural resistance associated macrophage protein 2, NRAMP2. NRAMP2, natural resistance associated macrophage protein. Natural resistance associated macrophage protein 2, NRAMP2, and divalent cation transporter. The other names are of DMT. One is natural resistance associated macrophage protein 2, NRAMP2, and divalent cation transporter 1, DCT1. DCT1 is a transporter of protein. All the transporters are almost proteins nature. DMT1 not only binds the iron, but it binds a variety of different metals, divalent metals, including the calcium, copper, zinc, but it's best known for its role in the transporting of the ferric form of iron. Thank you very much. Next, inshallah, we will see what are the which are affecting the absorption of the iron. Thank you very much.